What's going on, everyone? I am Vincent Van Ghool. Welcome to Van Ghool Reviews. Today we're going to take a look at the In One Gulp EP by the Writhers. Firstly, I want to point out that it's pronounced Writhers, like a writhing corpse or Mike Tyson ordering the bread for a sandwich. The band consists of Rick Retreat on drums, Kenny Wolfbane on bass, Chewy Morsel on guitar, and Robert Wrythe on vocals and accordion, which is really cool if you ask me. Now, the first song on this EP is called The Devil Mask Approaches, and to me it kind of has an 80s garage rock feel, and personally I love that. The only real vocals are a gang vocal right at the beginning of them going, "Devil Mask Approaches!" And after that, the song itself is largely instrumental. At 1:26 I think this is a great way to open this EP. The main thing on this track that catches my ear is going to be Kenny Wolfbane's bass, which is kind of a running thing throughout the EP as it is. The second song is called Rot, Rot, Rot. It's my favorite track, pretty much overall, for this EP. Heavy 80s influence if you listen to the way the synth comes through. The chorus in and of itself is really catchy and really fun. I enjoy hearing it, and trust me, if you haven't heard this, you're missing out. Robert Wrythe's vocals, just they're right where you want them. The third song is called "What Is That?" And I'm at this point it's where I started noticing the logical progression in the flow of the songs going into each one. It feels like to me each song gradually segues in to this point. Again, kind of got that 80s influence, that 80s garagey influence. And there's a little bit where, like, right at the end of like the choruses, Robert Wrythe does a little bit of a scream, which is kind of nice. I actually really like that. There's a sample in it that I'm not going to spoil, but you should recognize it. Now, the fourth song is called Pulp, and this one kind of swingy a little bit, and there's some fun guitar work going on by Chewy. And again, that flow, that progression where it just kind of goes one song into the next is still there. And everything is just sitting where it needs to be again. Like, it's like they knew exactly where they were going here, and I love all of it. The fifth song is called Cold Day. Now, Cold Day seems a bit more sped up as opposed to the previous songs, and because of that, it does stand out a little bit, and it's not quite as heavily keyboard laden. It's more guitar driven, really, I would say, but it still fits 100% into the scheme of what they were doing with this EP. I absolutely love the gang vocals, and it's going to be a cold day in hell when this isn't in my rotation, and I realize that's a really bad play on their lyrics. Excuse me. And then the last song is Devil Mask Defeated, which kind of reminds me a little bit of what plays when your character dies in a video game, which is, in my opinion, pretty neat. It's dirgy, and unlike the first song, the intro song, Devil Mask Approaches, this is the outro song, Devil Mask Defeated. This one actually has some vocals by Robert Wrythe, which to me, in a huge way, come across kind of like a spoken word thing, like Henry Rollins used to do. And from what I heard, there's a little bit of Robert Wrythe on accordion, which is fun. I do enjoy that. The average runtime per song is about 2 to 2.5 minutes. So it's a really easy listen, and because of that progression where everything just kind of flows from song to song, where you're just flowing into the next song, it's really easy to listen to the entirety of In One Gulp in one sitting, which is really interesting to me. Like, sometimes, like, more often than not, we're used to skipping from single to single, but this one, your brain just wants to go, what's the next thing, what's the next thing, and you want to just flow through the whole thing, and it's very easy to do with this. Now, where does it sit in regards to Ghastly Reminders? How does it stack up to Ghastly Reminders? I would personally say they're pretty much on equal footing. There's some key differences in the composition and in what they do per song, but I would say they're about even. Like, they're both phenomenal albums, and this album is, to me, just a progression of what the precedent they set. It's just it's, a few steps above that precedent that they set with ghastly reminders. It's exactly what we all expect from a band like the Writhers. We expect them to one up themselves, and they do. You know what I mean? It's definitely worth a few hundred listens, if you ask me. So I would say that they're about on equal footing there. Overall, I would give this In One Gulp EP 4 pumpkins out of 5, and I cannot wait to see what these boys do. Like, I am so jazzed for their next release. It's going to be fantastic. I already know that. So, thank you for spending your time with me. I have been Vincent Van Ghool, and remember, we may be freaks, but we are not alone, and long live the horror.